Hey guys, this is going to be our first video. We're going to be talking about the front squat and our upcoming front squat cycle. I'm going to have Isaac and Emily show a bunch of different stretches and mobility. The cycle we're going to do, you're going to begin with sets of 5 reps, and we're going to go to sets of 3 reps as the weights increase. You guys maxed, I think, last week on Monday. If we didn't max, we'll have an opportunity to do that again, but we need to have some baseline number in order to proceed. So if you, for example, have a 5x5 at 60%, that 60% isn't subjective, it's based entirely off of that 1 rep max that you guys did. If there's questions, there's going to be a lot of time and places to ask them, but what we're going to try to do right now is just show you the mobility that we're going to be working on in the future so that everyone's clear and that we all know exactly how to do it when we walk in the gym.
All right, guys, so I'm going to show a couple just regular front squats for you guys. You want to try and have your full hand around the bar. For the normal front squat in the front rack, you don't have to hook grip. Just try and get that full hand around. So this is what it would look like with the full hand around the bar. We're going to get tight in the core. We're going to push that butt back. We're going to go down, come up. Stay nice and tight. All right, guys, so that's what it looks like with the full hand. If you're not able to get your full hand around the bar and you're just able to do this, that's fine. Just really try and keep those elbows up. We don't want to dip down like this. So just really try and work your hardest to get as many fingers around the bar as you can. And then it would just be the same thing. So down, pushing that butt back a little bit at the start, getting those hips behind you. So we're going to be doing a lot of the mobility drills for the front rack front squat on our back. So for this one, you do want to hook grip, full hand around the bar again if you can. If you can't, like I said before, the goal, just get as many fingers around the bar as you can. So hook grip here, thumb around the bar, middle finger over the thumb. So from here, we're going to bring both elbows up as high as possible and just try to hold it there, really imitating what that front rack would look like and what we want it to look like. Nice high elbows. We'll hold for 30 seconds to a minute on this one. And then from here, we'll go and do just a couple squats while we're holding up, staying active. So just like I showed before, get those hips behind you, down, up, stay tight. 3 to 5 is fine. Then the next one, same hand position, hook gripping. We're gonna alternate elbows coming up. So one at a time, nice and slow and controlled, all the way up as high as possible.
All right, guys, here's a banded stretch that we'll be doing to improve your front rack position. So he's got the band over the top of his wrist. He's gonna grab onto the band with his hand, turn his palm to face the ceiling, and then get himself underneath the band. So this is kind of like the classic tricep stretch where you just reach your hand down your back and you can assist with the hand, but what's going on here is the band is assisting him and pulling his arm back into position. So he is maintaining a tight position through his midline. He's not arching his back, letting his ribs poke out. He's doing the reverse of that, staying tight. His elbow is staying close to his ear. So we do not want the elbow to flare out. We want it to stay in close to the head and reach straight up toward the ceiling. If that is hard for him to do without assistance, he can use his free hand to keep the elbow in close and reaching straight up. At the same time that's going on, he's trying to maintain his palm rotating toward the ceiling because that is the same position we find in front rack. Our palms don't turn down, they turn up. So we try to maintain that while holding on.
All right, good. We're going to do a little ankle mobility as well. This is one of the key parts to having a good squat. You need to have an acute angle in your ankle. This is one of the best ways to do it. You're going to have your foot, we're going to take 2 plates. You're going to displace the plate so the top plate is facing over the bottom one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my foot right here. I'm going to get my chest on my knee, and then I'm going to pull myself down into that plate. So I put my chest on my knee, and I'm going to pull down. I'm going to create pressure, which compresses and collapses that angle, right? So rather than having the knee here, which doesn't do anything, we got to push that knee forward, and then we're going to pull down. All right, stretch that ankle. So what we're going to talk about really quickly are some of the basics about squatting, and there's a few things that are happening sometimes that that are either gonna get you hurt or are dangerous. We're gonna assume that you can do a good front squat position, so the hands are on the barbell and everything looks perfect. We're gonna assume you can do that. The first thing we're gonna be doing is we're gonna crack the knees slightly, so a little bit of break in the knee. And then the first movement is pushing the hips back. So once we're here, we need to drive those elbows up, and then we're gonna start dropping, all right? And then go all the way down. So once you guys get here, what we're trying to do is keep the lower part of your back, your lower lumbar right here from arching too far in or tucking under. Okay, we've all seen what that looks like when it goes under like that, it looks like a dog pooping. We don't want to do that. So as we come up, and the reason we're doing front squats is because it's the most glute dominant and hamstring dominant squat that we can do. So as you come up, you're gonna keep the weight centered right here, and we're gonna stand up, okay? We don't ever want the heels to move or to go to the instep. What that looks like is we come this way, and the knees fall in. We wanna make sure that everything is out. The knees are tracking the second toe. What we don't wanna do is push the knees forward all the way and then try to squat. See what that looks like? It ends up correctly, generally. Looks okay at the end, but getting there is dangerous and it hurts the knee, so we're not gonna do that. The other things we're gonna do, I'm gonna face the camera. The other thing we're not gonna do is if we do have really tight hips, what you see people doing is put your feet closer, is the width of that squat stance this is the problem right here. If I'm trying to do that and I'm all jammed up, everything falls inward. So push those knees together as you go down. And this is what it looks like, all right? And stand back up. You're gonna pretend like your right butt cheek doesn't work. So turn this way, face that way. The other thing that we see a lot is that when there are folks that have one butt cheek or the other butt cheek that doesn't work properly, one knee will fly in and very clearly one half of the leg doesn't work. So she's gonna go down into her squat. We're gonna assume she can do a good squat, all right? As she comes up, her right knee is gonna fall in, and it looks usually a little worse than that, honestly, but that's what we're trying to avoid. The last thing we're gonna talk about really quickly is, maybe face the camera again, sorry, is hand width. If you can think about where your clean is, or where most of the movements we're doing in here are, to be a little bit outside of the shoulder. Okay, so right here, all right? We don't want to be far out here, and we don't want to be far inside. So if your hand is on top of your shoulder like this, it's too narrow. And if it's out here like this, it's too wide. Right here is perfect, that's where we want to be. Throw the elbows together. If you see what this looks like, there's a lot of fellas that are super tight where they kind of fall in like this. We don't want this to happen either. So we want to have those elbows right here, nice and tall. All right, and again, if we can't do that, that's fine. Go to the fingers real quick. That's okay. We're all gonna try to get the full bar on the palm. I'm gonna have you do one more thing, just turn. And the only issue that we wanna make sure we don't have is as you guys are going in the squat, that you're not prioritizing getting the elbows high, so arch your back real hard. Don't arch your back like this. There's a difference between squatting with your hips back and arching your butt, okay? We don't wanna do that, okay? We wanna keep the spine nice and neutral. We don't want that one. All right, so crack the knees, push the butt back without arching the spine. If you're arching the spine to keep your elbows up, you're prioritizing the wrong thing. The goal is this needs to be perfect, this needs to be perfect. We can work on the front rack. We can fix that. It's hard, we can fix that. All right?
All right, guys, so we're gonna talk about some wrist mobility stuff with the band. So I'm gonna have Basil, he's gonna get on all fours, be facing away from the rig. We're gonna have the band pulling against his wrist, and he's going to be leaning forward, creating some pressure. You can adjust the pressure depending on how tight your wrist is and how flexible you are. So just like he's doing here, kind of rocking back and forth. We want it right above the hand, and we'll hold this for 30 seconds to a minute, depending on who you are and what you need. So that's it.